Hello, everyone, and welcome to English in Advance. I'm your host, Jessica, and I am so excited to have you here with me today. This is the podcast where we move beyond the textbook and into the real, fluent, and confident English that you've been working so hard to achieve. If you're here, you're probably in a place that so many English learners find themselves, the intermediate plateau. You feel stuck, don't you? You can have a conversation, you can understand your teacher, you can watch a movie with subtitles, and you can write an email. But you know you're not advanced. You can feel the gap. When you listen to native speakers, they talk so fast using words and phrases you've never heard. When you speak, you hesitate. You search for words, you translate in your head, and your sentences just don't sound, well, they don't sound natural. You use the word good or nice about 20 times a day. You know the grammar rules, but you still make the same mistakes with prepositions or tenses. It's frustrating. You're working hard, but you feel like you're not moving forward. I want to tell you right now, that feeling is normal, and today, you and I are going to build the map to get you off that plateau for good. This podcast episode is going to be your personal guide, your toolkit for transforming your English from intermediate to advanced. We are not just going to talk about what you should do, we are going to do it right here, right now, together. This is a Learn English with Podcast episode, which means I need you to participate. I will be asking you to speak out loud, to think, and to practice with me. So if you can, find a space where you won't feel shy about talking. Ready? Our entire focus today is on closing that gap. We're going to cover the essential skills. How to listen like an advanced learner. How to build a sophisticated and natural vocabulary, how to finally master that tricky advanced grammar, and most importantly, how to speak with fluency and confidence. This is going to be a long, detailed session, like a private masterclass. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's begin this journey. Before we dive in, if you are serious about advancing your English, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're listening on. We release new practical podcasts just like this one all the time, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Okay, let's start with the most important difference between an intermediate learner and an advanced one. It's not vocabulary. It's not grammar, it's mindset. The intermediate learner studies English. The advanced learner lives in English. The intermediate learner is afraid of making mistakes. The advanced learner understands that mistakes are the only way to grow. They are not failures. They are data. They are proof that you are pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. From this moment on, I want you to make a promise to yourself. You will not be afraid to sound silly. You will not be afraid to get a word wrong. You will just try. Let's do our first practice together. I want you to say this out loud with me. Say it with confidence. My mistakes are my teachers. Let's say it again. My mistakes are my teachers. This is your new mantra. An advanced speaker isn't someone who never makes mistakes. They're someone who has made thousands more mistakes than the intermediate learner and has learned from every single one. They self-correct. They notice when they hear something new. They are active, curious, and brave. That is what you are going to become. Now, let's get into our first big skill, advanced listening comprehension. This is the foundation for everything else. You cannot produce natural advanced English if you cannot understand natural advanced English. The intermediate learner understands teacher English, slow, clear, and perfectly pronounced. The advanced learner understands real-world English, fast, messy, full of reductions, idioms, and connected speech. Your goal is to train your ear to hear what's really being said. The biggest complaint I hear is, Jessica, native speakers talk too fast. They aren't actually speaking faster. They are just linking their words and reducing sounds. This is called connected speech. Let's break this down. In English, we don't say every word separately. We link them, especially a consonant sound at the end of one word to a vowel sound at the start of the next. For example, we don't say an apple. We say a napple. We don't say I am old. We say I yam old. We also have reductions. These are the lazy sounds that make English sound so fast. The most famous ones are going to, which becomes gonna, want to, which becomes wanna, and I don't know, which becomes I don't know. Let's practice this right now. I'm going to say the clear version and then the natural fast version. I want you to listen and then repeat the fast version out loud. Ready? Clear. What are you going to do? Fast. What you gonna do? Repeat it. What you gonna do? Clear. I want to get a cup of coffee. Fast. I want to get a cup of coffee. Listen again. Get a cuppa. The of becomes a. Repeat. I want to get a cup of coffee. Clear. I don't know what he said. Fast. I don't know what he said. Repeat. I don't know what he said. Clear. Did you eat yet? Fast. G yet. This is a really common one. Did you becomes Jew or just G? Did you eat? Jeet. Repeat. Jeet yet. This might feel strange or even wrong at first, but this is English. This is how people really talk. You don't have to speak this way if you don't want to, but you must be able to understand it. The best way to practice this, it's a technique called shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to an audio like this podcast, and you try to speak at the same time as the host. You are not just repeating after me. You are trying to become my shadow. You copy my speed, my rhythm, my intonation, and my pronunciation, even if you don't understand every word. Let's try a very short shadowing exercise. I am going to say a sentence at a normal, natural speed. I will say it twice. The first time, just listen. The second time, I want you to try to say it with me. Ready? Sentence. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about it, but I'll have to figure it out. Okay, listen again, and this time, try to speak with me. Ready? Go. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about it, but I'll have to figure it out. How did you do? Was it difficult? Probably. But if you do this for just 5 minutes every single day, maybe you can even use this very podcast, your brain will start to recognize the patterns, the music, and the flow of English. This is one of the most powerful habits you can build. The second part of advanced listening is active listening versus passive listening. Passive listening is when you have an English podcast or music on in the background while you're cleaning or driving. That's fine. It's good for exposure, but it won't move you to the advanced level. Active listening is when your brain is 100% engaged. You are listening for meaning, for vocabulary, for structure. Let's do an active listening practice. Right now, I am going to tell you a very short story, just a few sentences. I want you to listen carefully. Your job is not to understand every single word. Your job is to understand the main idea. After I'm done, I'm going to ask you to summarize the story out loud in one sentence. Ready? Here's the story. My colleague, Sarah, was supposed to give a huge presentation at 10 a.m., but this morning, her car wouldn't start, and then she got stuck in a massive traffic jam on the bus. She ended up running into the meeting 20 minutes late, but she still managed to do an amazing job. Okay? Now it's your turn. In one sentence, what was that story about? Say it out loud. Did you say something like, Sarah was late for her big presentation because of transportation problems, but she still did well? If you said anything like that, you are an active listener. You didn't get stuck on words like massive or colleague. You understood the main point. This is a skill. Practice this every day. Listen to a 1-minute news clip, then pause it and say the main idea out loud. This trains your brain to find the important information, which is exactly what advanced listeners do. All right, let's move on to our second massive topic. Building an advanced vocabulary. This is where many intermediate learners get stuck. You know thousands of words, but you use the same 50. Your vocabulary is wide, but it's not deep. The number one sign of an intermediate speaker is the overuse of simple basic adjectives: good, bad, nice, big, small, happy, sad. An advanced speaker uses rich, specific, and nuanced language. They don't just say the movie was good. They say it was fascinating or hilarious or thought-provoking or underwhelming. Let's do a vocabulary upgrade. I call this Banish the Boring. We are going to take 5 boring intermediate words and replace them. Our first boring word is good. This is the worst one. Let's say you had a good day. What does that mean? Was it relaxing, productive, exciting? If you just relaxed, you could say, I had a very peaceful day. If you got a lot done, you could say, I had a really productive day. If you had fun, you could say, I had a fantastic day. Let's practice. I'll give you a simple sentence. I want you to upgrade the word good with a more specific, powerful word. Say it out loud. Sentence, she is a good friend. What did you say? Did you say, she is a loyal friend, or a supportive friend, or a lifelong friend? All of those are so much better than good. Let's take our second boring word, bad. The weather was bad. I had a bad day. The food was bad. Let's upgrade. Instead of the weather was bad, you could say the weather was miserable. Or the weather was awful. Instead of the food was bad, you could say the food was disgusting. Or the food was inedible. Let's practice. Upgrade this sentence. I got some bad news. How about I got some devastating news? Or I got some upsetting news. Do you feel how much more power those words have? Our third boring word, happy. I am happy. This is fine, but happy is a huge category. Are you just a little happy or very happy? If you are very happy, you could say, I'm thrilled, or I'm ecstatic, or I'm over the moon. Practice. Upgrade this sentence. I was happy to see him. Maybe, I was delighted to see him. That sounds so much more advanced and elegant. Our fourth boring word, sad. The movie was sad. Let's upgrade. If a movie makes you cry, it's not just sad, it's heartbreaking or tragic. If your friend is sad because they failed a test, they are disappointed. Practice. Upgrade. I was sad when I heard the news. You could say, I was heartbroken when I heard the news. Our fifth boring word, big. He lives in a big house. Let's upgrade. He lives in a huge house, or a massive house, or an enormous house. Practice. Upgrade. That is a big problem. How about, that is a major problem, or a significant problem? This is a habit. When you are speaking or writing and you hear yourself use one of these boring words, I want you to pause and ask yourself, what do I really mean? Is there a more specific, more powerful, more advanced word I can use? The next level of advanced vocabulary is not just single words, it's collocations. Collocations are words that just go together naturally in English. Native speakers use them all the time without thinking. Intermediate learners often get them wrong, and it's a clear sign they are still translating. For example, we don't say a strong rain. We say a heavy rain. We don't do a mistake. We make a mistake. We don't do a decision. We make a decision. We don't say, I'm very concerned. We say, I'm deeply concerned. We don't say a quick food. We say fast food. Learning collocations is one of the fastest ways to sound more natural. The best way to learn them is not from lists. It's from noticing them when you read and listen. When you read an article, don't just look for new words. Look for word partners. When you see deeply concerned, write down the whole phrase, not just concerned. Let's practice. I am going to give you a word and you tell me the common partner. Ready? To attention. Did you say to pay attention? That's it. We don't give attention or do attention. We pay attention. Let's try another. Of time. A waste of time. That's the most common one. One more. To a promise. To make a promise. Or to keep a promise. Or to break a promise. All of those are correct collocations. Start a collocation notebook. When you hear a new one, write it down and make your own sentence with it. The final piece of advanced vocabulary is phrasal verbs and idioms. This is what makes English so colorful and, for intermediate learners, so confusing. An advanced speaker uses them effortlessly. An intermediate speaker might say, I will collect you from the airport. An advanced speaker says, I will pick you up from the airport. An intermediate speaker says, I need to postpone the meeting. An advanced speaker says, I need to put off the meeting. An intermediate speaker says, I respect my older brother. An advanced speaker says, I look up to my older brother. Again, you learn these from context. You hear them in podcasts. You see them in movies. Let's practice a few of the most common ones. Let's say you are explaining that you are no longer sick. You have recovered. The phrasal verb is to get over. Practice sentence. It took me a week to get over the flu. Say that out loud. Now let's say you accidentally meet someone. The phrasal verb is to run into. Practice sentence. I ran into my old teacher at the supermarket. Say that out loud. Let's say you want to say you have no more of something, like milk. The phrasal verb is to run out of. Practice sentence. We ran out of milk. I need to buy some. Say that out loud. And then we have idioms. Idioms are phrases where the meaning is not what the individual words say. For example, it's raining cats and dogs. This has nothing to do with animals. It just means it's raining very heavily. You cannot guess the meaning of idioms. You have to learn them. Let's practice. I'll give you a common idiom and tell you what it means. I want you to make a sentence with it. Idiom, to feel under the weather. This means to feel sick or to feel unwell. Now, make a sentence. Maybe, I'm not coming to work today. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Try your own sentence out loud. Great. Let's try one more. Idiom, to hit the nail on the head. This means to say or do something that is exactly right. Let's practice. Imagine your friend explains a complex problem perfectly. You can say, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly the issue. Try saying that sentence out loud. Now don't worry about memorizing thousands of these. Just start by noticing them. When you hear a strange phrase in a movie, write it down, Google it, and you'll probably find it's an idiom. Choose 1 or 2 new ones a week and try to use them. Okay, that was a huge section on vocabulary. Let's take a deep breath. How are you doing? You are actively listening. You are practicing out loud. This is exactly what it takes. Let's move to our third topic, mastering advanced grammar. Here's the secret. Advanced grammar is not about learning hundreds of new, complex rules. It's about using the grammar you already know with flexibility, accuracy, and nuance. It's about using complex sentences, not just simple ones. The intermediate learner writes, I went to the park. It was sunny. I met my friend. We played football. 4 simple sentences. The advanced learner writes, yesterday, I went to the park to meet my friend, and since it was such a beautiful, sunny day, we decided to play football. 1 complex, fluent sentence. How do we do this? By mastering connectors and conjunctions. Words like although, however, therefore, since, whereas, and despite. Let's practice combining sentences. I'll give you 2 simple sentences and you combine them using a more advanced connector. Sentences. It was raining. We went for a walk. How could you combine them? You could use although it was raining, we went for a walk. You could use despite the rain, we went for a walk. Both are perfectly advanced. Say one of those sentences out loud. Let's try another. Sentences. He studied very hard. He failed the exam. How would you combine these? You could use however. He studied very hard. However, he failed the exam. You could use even though he studied very hard, he failed the exam. This is a key skill. Start noticing these connectors when you read and try to use them in your own writing and speaking. The second area of advanced grammar is mastering the perfect tenses. Intermediate learners often avoid these. The present perfect, I have been, is essential. We use it to connect the past to the present. If you say, I lived in London for 5 years, it means you don't live there anymore. It's a finished past action. If you say, I have lived in London for 5 years, it means you still live there. The action started in the past and continues to the present. Let's practice. I want you to tell me you started learning English 3 years ago and you still learn it today. What would you say? Did you say, I have been learning English for 3 years? Or, I have learned English for 3 years. Both are perfect. How about the past perfect? I had done. Question mark. This is the past of the past. We use it to show that one action happened before another action in the past. Example, when I arrived at the station, past, the train had already left, past of the past. Let's practice. I'll give you the 2 actions. You make the sentence. Action 1, happened first. He cooked dinner. Action 2, happened second. His friends arrived. How do you combine them? When his friends arrived, he had already cooked dinner. Try saying that out loud. When his friends arrived, he had already cooked dinner. This is a beautiful, advanced sentence. The final piece of advanced grammar is mastering unreal conditionals. These are the what-if sentences. Intermediate learners usually stick to the first conditional. If it rains, I will stay home. Advanced learners use the second and third. The second conditional is for unreal or hypothetical situations in the present or future. The structure is if plus past tense, would plus verb. Example, if I had $1 million, I don't have it now, I would buy a new house. A key part of this is using if I were you, not if I was you. This is called the subjunctive mood and is very advanced. We use it for giving advice. Practice. Your friend is sick. Give them advice using if I were you. Did you say, if I were you, I would go to the doctor? Or, if I were you, I would rest? Perfect. The third conditional is for unreal situations in the past. It's for regrets. The structure is, if plus past perfect would have plus past participle. Example. If I had studied harder, I didn't study. I would have passed the exam, I didn't pass. This is one of the most complex structures, but it's essential for advanced expression. Let's practice. I want you to express a regret. Situation, you ate too much. Now you feel sick. What's the sentence? If I hadn't eaten so much, I wouldn't feel sick. Oh, that's a mixed conditional, even more advanced. Or, if I hadn't eaten so much, I wouldn't have felt sick. Both work. Try this one. Situation. You didn't know your friend was in town. You didn't see them. Sentence. If I had known you were in town, I would have met you. Try saying that one out loud. If I had known you were in town, I would have met you. Mastering these conditionals will instantly make your English sound more sophisticated. We have covered so much. We've done listening, vocabulary, and grammar. Now, let's get to the one you've been waiting for, the skill that everyone wants, advanced speaking and fluency. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is not about having perfect grammar. Fluency is about speaking smoothly, naturally, and with confidence, without long pauses or translating in your head. How do we get it? The number one enemy of fluency is translation. If you are thinking in your native language, finding the word, translating the grammar, and then speaking, you will always be slow, you will always be stuck. The advanced speaker thinks in English. But Jessica, you say, how do I learn to think in English? My brain doesn't work that way. Yes, it can. You just have to train it. You start small. This is my favorite technique. I call it narrate your life. From now on, when you are doing simple, everyday actions, I want you to narrate them in your head or out loud in English. When you're making coffee, okay, I'm getting the mug. I'm boiling the water. I'm putting the coffee in the cup. Now I'm pouring the water. I need to add some milk. When you're getting dressed, I'm putting on my blue shirt. I need to find my socks. Ah, here they are. Now I'm tying my shoes. Let's practice right now. Look around the room you're in. Find an object. I want you to make 3 simple sentences about it in English. Say them out loud. For example, I see my lamp. That is my lamp. It is white. I use it to read at night. Your turn. Pick an object. Go. This seems incredibly simple, right? But what are you doing? You are building direct connections in your brain between the concept, the lamp, and the English words. My lamp, it is white, without your native language in the middle. This is the foundation of thinking in English. Do this every single day. The second part of fluency is speaking in chunks, not words. Native speakers don't think word by word. We think in chunks or phrases. These are collocations and phrases we have used thousands of times. For example, when I say, how's it going? I am not thinking, how is it going? It is one chunk of sound. How's it going? When I say, I'm not sure about that, it's one chunk. When I say, on the other hand, it's one chunk. You need to build your own library of these chunks. How? By noticing them when you listen and reading them when you read. When you learn to look forward to, don't just learn the phrase. Learn the chunk that follows. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It's always plus ing. Let's practice. I want you to respond to me using a common chunk. I say, "Thank you so much for your help." What's a natural chunked response? "You're welcome" is good. "No problem" is great. "Don't mention it" is very natural. "Anytime" is also perfect. Let's try another. I say, "I'm sorry, I'm going to be late." What's a natural chunk? "That's okay." "No worries." "Thanks for letting me know." All of these are fluent, natural chunks. The third part of fluency, and this is the scariest one, is you must speak more. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book about swimming. You have to get in the water. You cannot learn to speak English by listening to podcasts. Not even this one. You have to speak. But Jessica, I have no one to talk to. This is the most common excuse, and I am going to take it away from you right now. You don't need a partner. You have the best partner in the world, yourself. I want you to start talking to yourself in English, out loud. We already talked about narrating your life. Now let's take it to the next level. At the end of your day, stand in front of a mirror and ask yourself questions. So how was your day today? And then answer yourself out loud. Well, it was pretty busy. I had that big meeting in the morning, which I was nervous about, but I think it went well. Then I had lunch with Mark. After work, I went to the gym. Now, I'm pretty tired, to be honest. I think I'll just watch a movie and go to bed. This might feel crazy, but who is listening? No one. Who is judging you? No one. You can make mistakes. You can pause. You can look up a word. This is a 100% safe space to practice. Let's do a mini version of this right now. I'm going to give you a question, and I want you to answer it out loud. Don't just give a one-word answer. Try to speak for 30 seconds. Give a full, detailed, advanced answer. Ready? The question is, what is your favorite thing to do on the weekend and why? I'll give you a moment. Speak out loud. Go. How did you do? Did you hesitate? Did you search for words? Did you feel your brain translating? That's okay. The first time, it's hard. The 10th time, it's easier. The 100th time, it's automatic. You must practice this. Finally, let's talk about pronunciation and rhythm. This is what makes you sound natural. Your goal is not to lose your accent. Your accent is part of who you are. The goal is clarity. An advanced speaker can be understood by anyone. The two most important parts of this are sentence stress and intonation. We already talked about connected speech, but sentence stress is about the music of the sentence. In English, we don't stress every word. We stress the important words, the nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. We swallow the small grammar words like a, the, in, to. Listen to this sentence. I went to the store to buy some bread. I didn't say, I went, the store ... I said, I went to the store to buy some bread. Listen again. I went to the store to buy some bread. The rhythm is da 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 da. This is the music of English. Let's practice. I'll say a sentence and I want you to copy my rhythm and stress exactly. Sentence. I really want to improve my English. Your turn. Say it out loud. Again. I really want to improve my English. This, combined with the shadowing we talked about earlier, is how you develop a natural, advanced rhythm. An intonation is the melody. It's the rising and falling of your voice. In general, for a statement, your voice falls at the end. I'm tired. Voice goes down. For a yes-no question, your voice rises. Are you tired? Voice goes up. For a which question, what, where, why, your voice falls. Why are you tired? Voice goes down. Let's practice this. I want you to say the word really 3 different ways. As a statement, meaning very. It was really good. Falling. As a yes/no question, meaning is that true? Really? Rising. As a way question, meaning what did you say? Really falling. Do you hear the difference? That's nuance. That's advanced. We have covered a universe of information. We've talked about the mindset of an advanced learner. We've practiced advanced listening and connected speech. We have upgraded our boring vocabulary to be rich, specific, and full of phrasal verbs and collocations. We have untangled complex grammar like conditionals and perfect tenses, and we have built a plan for fluent, confident, and natural-sounding speech. You are probably feeling a little overwhelmed. That's okay. You don't have to do all of this today. This is a journey. So let's put it all together. What is your daily practice plan? You cannot get to advanced by studying for 4 hours every Saturday. You must do a little bit every single day. Consistency is more important than intensity. Here is a simple 30-minute daily plan for you. 1. 10 minutes, active listening. Choose a podcast like this one, a news report, or a YouTube video. Your job is active. For the first 5 minutes, just listen and try to understand the main idea. For the next 5 minutes, shadow the speaker. Copy their rhythm, their speed, their intonation. 2. 10 minutes, active speaking. Talk to yourself. You can narrate your life as you make breakfast, or you can do a 1-minute speech on a random topic. You can find random topic generators online. The key is to speak out loud. 3. 10 minutes, active reading and vocabulary. Read 1 page of an English book or 1 short news article. Your job is not to finish the article. Your job is to find 1 new word, 1 new collocation, and 1 new idiom or phrasal verb. Write them in your notebook and make 1 sentence with each. That's it. 30 minutes. 10 for listening, 10 for speaking, 10 for reading and vocabulary. Can you do that? Can you give yourself that 30-minute gift every day? If you do this, I promise you, in 6 months, you will not recognize your own English. You will be an advanced speaker. You've been an amazing listener and participant today. You are exactly the kind of student who will succeed because you are not just passively listening. You are doing the work. You are speaking out loud. You are practicing. You are learning. This is how you move from intermediate to advanced. Thank you so much for joining me, Jessica, here on English in Advance. You have taken a massive step forward today just by being here and committing to this process. You can do this. You are doing this. Now, I have a call to action for you, my request. If you found this podcast masterclass helpful, if you learned something, or if you feel more motivated, please do 2 things for me. First, hit that subscribe or follow button. I will be back with more deep dive lessons just like this to guide you every step of the way. And second, leave a comment or a review. Tell me 1 thing you are going to practice this week. Are you going to narrate your life? Are you going to banish the boring words? Are you going to try shadowing? Let me know. I read every comment and I want to hear about your journey. Remember, the advanced level is not a magical destination. It is just the result of small, smart, consistent daily habits. You have the map. You have the tools. Now, all you have to do is take the first step. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep advancing. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye for now.